Hello, Facebook. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Waiting to go live here and get the official notification. Get some viewers on. It is July 1st, and there we go. And sound check. Hopefully it's working. Do we have sound? Yep, there we go. Confirmed. All right. So it is July 1st. It is July 1st, 2021, Thursday. Can't believe July is here already. Another month gone by. It was hot out the last couple of days, like really, really hot out the last couple of days. Jamie and I went for a bike ride yesterday. Attempted to go for a bike ride when the thermometer was reading 100 degrees. And we decided not to. We came back down Louisville and did a bike ride. We were down in Goshen by the rail trail. Jamie was picking up we were picking up Jamie's new bike, and I had my bike, and the thermometer was reading 100 degrees, and we're like, maybe let's just go back down Louisville and have a early evening ride is what we did on the rail trail by the Little League field. So we did that. Did about 6 miles on the rail trail there, which is nice. Good morning, everybody tuning in. Good morning, Ralph. If you're tuning in live, just drop a comment, #live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Always helps as well. We have viewers all over the country, as well as a lot local here. So always love to see where people are tuning in from. And let's see. So I'm going to talk today about why restaurants say this, and it's simply not true. Or is it true in their own mind? It might be true in their own mind. They might justify it. So I can't stand when people say to me that my prices are expensive, because people have no idea what really goes into a restaurant. Unless you own a restaurant, manage a restaurant, pay the bills in a restaurant, you have no idea how much it takes to run a restaurant financially. Restaurants are very lucky to make 5% profit for every dollar that goes into the register. They're lucky to take 5 cents as profit. So literally on $1 million in sales, if you profit $50,000, you've got a profitable restaurant. That's a lot of money to move for only $50,000 in profit. So restaurants, good restaurants, run a very tight ship, and they understand finances and this and that. And we actually lowered our prices during COVID. When COVID hit, we lowered our prices and did an a la carte menu. So you don't have to, you can order whatever sides you want for your entrees. We dropped literally the steak down from $30 to $19. The salmon went from $30 to $19.99. Although prices are going to have to go up here because prices are ridiculous on everything. It's just insane how crazy prices are. But here's something I noticed over the many, many years of being in this business. Restaurants love to say they use the very best ingredients. And you go to any website of any restaurant, and the majority of these restaurants will say, doesn't matter what type of restaurant it is, whether it's a diner, whether it's a full-service restaurant, whether it's a Michelin 3-star restaurant, a 5-star restaurant. The one thing that all these restaurants claim is that they use the finest and best ingredients. Now, is everybody using the best and finest ingredients? Because I know my salt costs $65 for a 25-pound bag. I don't know of any restaurant that's paying $65 for a 25-pound bag of salt. I can guarantee you that. There's not many restaurants that are actually doing that. There are a few, but not many. Literally, our cooking oil that we cook with for a 35-gallon pail is literally like $120. Most restaurants are complaining now that the price is $40. $40 because it went up from $18, and they're complaining. Our salmon, our wild salmon, is always twice the price minimum of farm salmon, sometimes 3 times the price of farm salmon. But many restaurants won't take that splurge. Our grass-fed ribeyes are at least 30-40% more than most restaurants, and these are the same restaurants that are claiming that they're using the best and finest ingredients they can possibly source. So how do you debunk this? Because every restaurant makes this, and it's a claim that's so easy to make, and it's so easy to believe most of these chefs and most of these restaurants. So, here's one way to debunk this right away. I was on a website this morning. A friend called me earlier this morning and said, Marcus, I'm going to this restaurant for a business deal. I need some pointers, this and that. Do you know somebody there? I go, no, I don't know anybody. and he was, oh, I thought you knew the owner. I said, not at this restaurant. It's a big restaurant in New York City too. It's a big chain. They have like 11, it's an independent, but they have like 11, 12 operations here in New York alone, and then they have international locations. And he goes, Marcus, I thought you knew the owner. I'm like, no, sorry, I don't know the owner. I can't help you. I don't have any connections at this restaurant. So as I'm looking through their website, it's saying we serve the best ingredients, the finest ingredients, the best ingredients that money can buy. So I immediately go to their menu, because this is on their About page, and I immediately go to the menu, and they're serving farmed salmon. This is probably the quickest way to debunk this statement out of any restaurant. Folks, farmed salmon is one of the worst foods you could possibly eat. It's one of the worst foods for the environment. It's just what, if you've probably heard me, I'm not going to go over all the details about farmed salmon because I have plenty of stuff. I have some videos on YouTube that have over the millions of views on farmed salmon and the detriment to the environment and to your health, the toxicity of it, and just how it's a scam. It's also called scamming. So here's a great restaurant with great restaurant, great reputation, charging a lot of money, by the way, charging as much money, more money for their farm salmon than I'm charging for our wild salmon on a dish. And they're touting that they're using the best ingredients. And this is something most people would believe because the website looks fantastic. And the dishes look fantastic. You're like, oh, wow, ooh, this is great. And, you know, if I were to probably walk into the kitchen, I could probably find that all their ingredients are subpar. So what these restaurants really mean when they say they're sourcing the best ingredients possible, it means they're sourcing the best ingredients for their budget is the thing that most of these restaurants should add to the description in their About page or their food philosophy. We're buying the best ingredients based upon our budget. And most restaurants you'll find just, I've been in the restaurant industry a long time, and I see the stuff. I see the stuff that people pick up off the shelves in Restaurant Depot that have nice restaurants. I see a lot of this stuff. I see a lot in food shows of what's so, all these restaurants are serving GMO oil. They're serving iodized salt. They're serving, just pure canola oil that's GMO in their fryers, or soybean GMO soybean oil. All these ingredients, one after another, and yet they make these claims. And this is one of the biggest issues I've always had with restaurants. A lot of the stuff they claim, like farm to table, is totally a self-made-up claim. Like, oh, we're a farm to table restaurant. I know we say we're farm to table, and I hope that, through our transparency and through our education on food, that people understand. This is why when we opened a grocery store, and when COVID hit, you can see all the ingredients, and there's still half of those ingredients in the restaurant. You can walk in and see the exact graham crackers we use. And I know that those restaurants that are saying they use the best ingredients are buying Nabisco graham crackers, and we're buying organic, certified organic, non-GMO, high-end graham crackers for our s'mores. So when people tell me that our food is expensive, like we had somebody last week that posted a comment on Instagram, posted a picture of our potatoes, that the food here is really expensive. I'm like, if they just knew, if they could just open up their eyes, a so-called food critic, the food blogger on Instagram, if she could just walk in, like look at our ingredients there and understand, like just maybe like that much about food, she wouldn't have made such a stupid comment like our food is expensive. To really know what goes into a restaurant is impossible unless you are in the industry. And I know a lot of chefs who cook that don't know anything about food costs, know nothing about costing. And that was me when I was younger, when I worked at places, when I didn't have to sign the paychecks, when I didn't have to pay the bills, when I didn't have to do that, I would just buy stuff. Oh yeah, we can afford that. I'd just buy this, buy that. And it was a detriment to the overall finances. And I was responsible for the overall finances in a lot of the country clubs I worked in. And took a lot of work, so I became conscious. But in the early days, when I wasn't that conscious, when the burden wasn't on me, when I didn't have to run food costs, when I didn't have to report back to management, I would just buy something because it was there, and I wouldn't have to worry about paying for it. So most chefs have no idea what really, even chefs that have been in the industry for many years, have no idea what it would be like to own their own restaurant. And some of them do, and that's why they don't own their own restaurant, because they know the hard work it is, they know the struggles, they know the financial difficulties, they know all of that. So, just something I wanted to say today, why do restaurants say they use the best ingredients? When, what is the definition of the best ingredients? It's really the best ingredients that they can particularly afford at that time. Now, if the price is going up, I got to tell you, the price is going up on everything across the board. Restaurants are struggling, and they are buying cheaper and cheaper quality items because they're trying to offset. So when something goes up in price, they look for an alternative. They look for a cheaper product. I mean, just latex gloves. Like latex gloves that were $30 18 months ago are $120 right now for latex gloves. I mean, to pay $100, I would complain when I had to pay $60 So for good latex gloves, and there were the really cheap ones out there for $30. So now, the cheapest ones are 120, and better ones are 150, 160. It's literally insane how many gloves we go through in the restaurant industry. I mean, I used to buy 5 cases at a time of gloves. Not only buy 1 case at a time, and I'm like, here are the gloves, and I always keep a couple extra in my office, because when cooks see all those gloves, they just take them, grab them, and they abuse the use of it. It's the same thing like toothpaste. Everybody who has a brand new tube of toothpaste squeezes a little extra, but when you get down to the bottom of it, you roll it, and you push it, and you still get it, and you still can brush your teeth with the toothpaste is there, so you're on the little bit of conservation mode. And that's how we have to be with certain things like gloves, because if you just put them out there, abused and used, and or overused. And I see some restaurants that the person wears the same gloves over and over and over and over again, and that's not the idea of wearing gloves. That's not the idea of wearing gloves at all in the restaurant industry for food service. You have to change the gloves. You absolutely have to change the gloves. But I notice sometimes, like, my cooks will put on a pair of gloves, grab out something out of the dish, out of the thing, and then take the glove off, and like they'll scoop like olives out. Grab olives out with the glove, take the glove off, throw the glove out, then go grab a new glove for something else. I'm like, you put spoons in there, and you spoon out the olives, you spoon out the tomatoes, you spoon out the cheese. You don't put a pair of gloves on every time you touch something. So, something has to be conscious. Good morning, Albie. Thank you. Nice haircut. Thank you very much. Jamie's been trimming my hair. I actually went and got a real haircut the other day. But my hair, at a point last week, I could pull it all the way down to my chin. That's how long my hair was. I put coconut oil on it every day, and it kind of compacts a little bit, but it was all the way I could pull it and go all the way down to my chin. And Jamie would trim it up here and there. And finally, I went the other day to get a real haircut. I'm not saying that Jamie's haircut's not real, but she was just trim my sides, and that was happening for the last 4 or 5 months. Good morning, Craig. So yeah, everybody, it is July 4th weekend. I would love to say we're going to have lobsters this weekend, but lobsters are probably going to be at their peak this weekend and then start dying down a little bit in price. We have a great event on Monday. It's our New York Champagne event, featuring New York traditional method champenoise with oysters and scallops, and that is $49 a person. Very, very limited availability on that. Like, we're only selling like 18 seats, and that's it. And we're almost at that point. I just want to know that we're putting like 3 bottles of each, and that's it. Plus, it's a holiday Monday. I don't really know how busy I'm assuming we're going to be very busy. We are doing outdoor dining. Unless the weather's inclement. Unless it's rainy, then we'll be inside. Jazz tonight, we're not sure what's happening. Is Jazz on or off tonight, Jamie?
I haven't heard, but I'm going to assume that it will be off.
Yeah, if it rains tonight, Jazz will be off. But Jazz is back every Thursday in the garden. We still don't have all of our seats in the dining room yet. We still have some liquor that's there for sale, wine, beer, and spirits, because we're allowed to until July 5th to do that, and then the governor's mandate ends, and we're caught with about $60,000 worth of inventory here. We're still got a lot of inventory, so come make me a deal. Come and make an offer on some wine. We got to get rid of some stuff, or we don't buy wine for the next year. We've got a lot of wine inventory, but we at certain points we were moving 25 cases of wine a week out the door in the height of the pandemic. So the wine sales have been very, very good for us. I wish that they would allow us to keep that. And I don't want to be a retail store. But I would love to say, for the state to say, okay, Marcus, if you can take 10% of your overall sales and do wine and spirits to go and cocktails to go, even if it's not cocktails, pre-made cocktails, just for me to sell bottles of wine to go, or a bottle or a can of a pre-made cocktail, ready to drink cocktail, like a Moscow Mule or something, I think those would be fantastic. For the state to say, well, we'll allow you to do up to 10% of your gross sales with that. And I'd be very happy. At $1 million, it'd be $100,000 in alcohol sales. Again, I don't want to be a liquor store. So the reason why it didn't pass recently with the state was because, and the liquor authority's all for it. The liquor authority is like, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's move forward. And they told the state with their recommendation, let's go forward with this. And the state voted it down because there's such a stronghold on the Retailers Association. Because the wine shops, retail shops, want to have that exclusivity of being able to sell you bottles of wine, full bottles of wine to go. But until July 5th, we can do that. Then the mandate ends. And I wish Cuomo would just say, you know what, let's give restaurants another 90 days just to recover and help them do that still. Because restaurants are still hurting. Restaurants are hurting a lot to get labor, to afford the food right now. It's just, and to be able to have an extra sale, to be able to sell a steak and have a bottle of wine with it to go, is just that much added revenue that we all of us restaurants would be happy doing that. All of us restaurants, and we took full advantage of that during the pandemic. So we're going to be bummed when that leaves. And I don't know, maybe the governor will extend that. I don't know if he will. He needs to make a decision, like I guess today, right, or tomorrow. So hopefully that will do. I hope that will happen. In Ellenville, the parade. Do you know when the fireworks are, Jamie?
I believe it's
Sunday
Sunday at 9ish.
at 9ish are the fireworks here in Ellenville. Always a great show. You catch them over by ShopRite. You can catch them anywhere. The Valley's just great to catch the fireworks here. So you can do that about 9ish. We're closing early on July 4th, Sunday. We're probably closing around 5 o'clock. Let our staff go home and enjoy fireworks and the rest of the day with their family. We have an early catering party that day, and then we'll just do lunch and enjoy. Jamie and I will enjoy our evening with friends and everything. And let's see, Monday will be open for our regular hours from 5 o'clock on. Sunday we will be opening early since we're closing at 5. I believe we open at like 1ish, 1 on Sunday or noon on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. Jamie just walked out. We did the schedule and we talked about it. We're opening early on Sunday. And the parade is on Sunday. I think the parade is staging everybody on Canal Street, so they're going to stage on Canal Street and then go. I don't like that idea. Don't like that idea at all. And I know, it's not me to complain about because I'm not on the board or the committee, and I don't know their reasoning for doing that. But I'm sure there was a logic to it, so I just don't know. So I really can't be that critical. I don't think I'll be a fan of it. But the committee desperately needs people to join that committee to keep this tradition going, or they're saying this is the last year of it. And it's funny because even like when we do the Run Like the Wind, it is so hard to get volunteers. So hard to get volunteers. And we have a couple great volunteers that help us. But for the amount of work that's done with it, and Jamie and I just couldn't do the Run Like the Wind this year. It was just one of those things where like we couldn't do it. And we'll probably bring Run Like the Wind. It's a 5K. If you don't know what Run Like the Wind is, it's a 5K, 10K race that raises thousands of dollars every year for the community here. And we took over the race like 6 or 7 years ago, turned it into a beer garden, a craft beer festival. Talking about yeah. Well, I was talking about Run Like the Wind too. No, they don't get volunteers. Yeah. So, we didn't get volunteers. I mean, no, not, and in fact, not one single community member asked me about the race this year. Not one person asked me. Not one. And this race has been going on since 1983. It's one of the oldest foot races, 5K foot races, 10K foot races in the Hudson Valley, one of the oldest ones. The one race that was before it was the Orange Classic, which is also gone. That race no longer exists. 2 years in a row now it's done. And Frank, the race director, told me something very similar, that nobody really asked him. And, and he raises a lot of money. Nobody really asked him about the race. So, it's really not important. It's important to community members if they don't have to do any work. So that's why I don't want to be critical of the 4th of July committee, because I know it's a lot of work to do these things. And I'm sure they're lining up on Canal Street for a specific reason. So I don't want to be that critical of them, and hopefully it works, and hopefully they'll be able to get more people in next year. But the only person who reached out to us about the Ellenville Run Like the Wind was the school, because we give them scholarship money every year. So we, again, donated money to a scholarship. We did a little fun run here in end of February. We did a little fun run here. People just donated money and ran, and we took that money to keep the scholarship going for Ellenville High School. And we're probably not going to stop that scholarship because we'd like to keep that money going on. We probably rename it to the Aroma Time Scholarship or something. I don't know, because if the race is gone, the race is gone, and there's no Run Like the Wind race, and there will be no checking account. There will be nothing in there. So we'll probably just change the name of that to the Aroma Time, and maybe just change some of the parameters of it. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. So, yeah. Jamie, what time are we opening on Sunday? You had walked out when I was talking about noon. We open at noon on Sunday. 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Reservations going to be 4 on
Last reservation's 4 o'clock on Sunday, and that's it. Staff's going to be in and out. Staff gets to go home and enjoy time with their family and enjoy fireworks and all that kind of stuff. Typically, we've stayed open until 8 o'clock. We really have never been historically busy or packed on July 4th later in the evening. We've never historically been like that. So it just doesn't make sense for us to open and keep staff here and this and that. So that is it, folks. I think that I missed anything, Jamie. I talked about the champagne dinner. Talked about a bunch of things. So, I'm good. All right, folks. That's it for now. I've got to get going. Got to head up to our Airbnb, and we have a check-in today for July 4th weekend. Pool. I'll post some updates of the pool. We ran the electric to the pool the other day. They're backfilling tomorrow, so we're putting a 20 by 40 in-ground pool there. The footers came to get inspected the other day from the town. Town inspector was there. Like the footers, so we're moving forward. The liners, it's getting delivered today for the pool, so we're super excited about the pool getting in there. Wish we would have had it for this last week because our guests would have really, really appreciated it. All right, folks, that is it for now. Talk to you later. Everybody have a great day, a great weekend if we don't see you. Jamie, you doing your Facebook Live later? No. Probably not. We're running around like crazy today. So if one of us is available, I don't know. We'll go live later on something. All right, folks. Maybe I'll go live. I know. We're running all different directions, Jamie and I. So, all right, folks, have a great day and a great weekend. Happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day. And everybody be safe, have fun, and eat good.